It's time to wake up and get driving in the fast lane here on Beaver County Radio. It's the morning show that talks about what's happening in the news, locally, regionally, and nationally. There's also music to get you started for the day, and Curtis Walsh will have the news. It's all brought to you by Patriot Home Care. And now, here is the host of the show, Frank Sparks.
It is 8:14 in Beaver County, and now joining us in studio is none other than Mr. DJ Frye, along with Tank and Lisa Lathom, and they are here to talk about their efforts as they are working at getting supplies, getting people to donate supplies, and so they can take them all down south. So, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Good morning. And we'll start off first because it's always ladies first. Lisa, tell us a little bit about what is going on here with the Hurricane Helene disaster relief that you guys are doing.
Yeah, so I feel like everybody is just, their heart is broken for all of the people down south. And Monday afternoon, Tank and I were eating some lunch, and we were watching the news as we were eating it in a restaurant.
She was drinking.
Looked over at Tank and I said, we're going to call DJ Frye and see if he'll give us a bus, and we're going to do a stuff-a-bus and try to get it down there. And Tank kind of ignored me for a couple of minutes, but I wouldn't let him go until he called DJ. And we called DJ up, and we didn't even get the words out of our mouth. And he said, let's do it. I love it. So we're really blessed to be able to have him to lean on and be able to help the people down south. And it's overwhelming the amount of support we've gotten in a very, very short amount of time.
Tank, as you know, the best ideas come when you're drinking.
Of course, I had to finish my Guinness first.
Right. There you go. All right. So what? Take us through exactly what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
So,
Who wants to start?
So what we're doing is basically we're hosting various drop-off sites and throughout the county, trying to spread it out so that everybody's going to want to try to give, and making it so that there's many different locations throughout the county, so you don't have to travel so far. I mean, anything will help. I mean, these people lost everything, and it's just one way we can give back to the community. That's basically a pillar of all of our businesses is basically community, and this truly is where we can try to help give back.
Sure, and Frank, I'll add to that. So I will agree. Lisa was the one eating. Tank was the one that might have had a few cocktails. Gotcha. Because I had the pleasure to talk to both of them. So we'll lean on that as far as why this idea was such a great idea. But I tell you what, these two here, it needs to be talked about. This is what Beaver County is all about.
Yeah, absolutely.
We talk about the leadership, starting at our courthouse right now, and we're talking about the leadership in the chamber. These two represent the unbelievable up-and-coming young leadership, the current leadership, the whole 9 yards here in Beaver County. And you and I talk about that all the time, about how strong we are as a county with leadership. And these two right here these are two of the greatest and strongest examples of the leadership here in Beaver County. So, when they call, one, you have to answer. And then two, when they tell me that in a restaurant, it can get really interesting. And, I told Tank, that's why this is such a wonderful idea, because he was sitting there drinking a couple Guinnesses, right?
That's right.
But all teasing aside, this is just such a wonderful opportunity for the three of us and so many other small businesses and so many people to come together here in Beaver County to do everything we can to help another location that's a couple hundred miles away. So it was a no-brainer, I'll be honest with you. So I think we kind of changed the idea multiple times. I think Lisa and I both joked we haven't worked so hard on a project as we did in a short amount of 24-hour time period. But our phones were lighting up left and right. It started by just having one bus at one location. We kind of just started twisting and tweaking this, and I think we have two different buckets here. We obviously have this Sunday coming up from noon to 4 at the Beaver area high school parking lot, the Central Valley High School parking lot, and the Freedom Area School District's high school parking lot. And with that being said, I want to thank all three of those school districts and all of the other school districts who have reached out to want to be part of this. So they have graciously, those three, provided us with their parking lots. And then that second bucket is, as Lisa and Tank both, we've been overwhelmed by the number of individuals and businesses throughout our valley who have reached out to offer their storefronts, their businesses, to be a week-long or 11-day, I believe, 11-day
Yes.
collection site. So this Sunday's the Stuff a Bus. We're going to gather up that info, all those goods, bring them down. We're going to sort everything out, and then throughout, starting now and throughout till next Saturday. If you can't make it Sunday, get down to one of those small businesses and tell them how much you appreciate them jumping on board with this. And then we're going to have Tank drive a bus next Saturday around the the county.
Nice.
And we're going to collect it. And I'm going to warn everybody: we'll have flotation devices, bike helmets, mouthpieces, the whole 9 yards. If you're a passenger on that bus,
I'm going to be driving in the fast lane with that one. For sure.
I like that. I like that.
He's driving in the fast lane. But we're gonna go out next Saturday and we're gonna collect everything up and we're gonna get this stuff down south as quick and smoothly as we can.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just amazed at how viral this thing has gone. I mean, as of this morning, our little post has been shared over 400 times, actually 420 times, and there's just everybody's reaching out saying, "How can we help? Can we volunteer? Can we bring stuff?" And it's just amazing about the outreach of Beaver County. And I'm actually getting messages from people all the way down to North Carolina and all the way out into the Poconos into Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing to mention, Sunday, the Boy Scout Troop 409 reached out, and they're going to set up a collection site too and then deliver it to Beaver. So they're going to be at the Chippewa United Methodist Church on Sunday from 12:30 to 3. So there's another drop-off spot, and they'll bring it to the bus. So if one of those 3 schools don't work. And yeah, thank you so much to all of those small businesses that have offered their storefronts. And Frank, I believe you guys have the flyer on your website, so if people want to see that,
and we'll post it again as well.
That's there. And I just want to say, last night Beaver Agway reached out and they offered a 25% discount on any supplies that are going to be going south. So they are going to be collecting them in the store, and they've offered 25% off of anything that people
Chet's the
buy
man.
too.
Chet is an awesome
so that
guy.
was really awesome. And then some other businesses that we'd like to mention that have stepped up and offered their services for free. The Brown Dog Sign Company, they've offered the signs for the sides of the buses. Shoot Media is shooting some videos for us and going to put a nice package together. Obviously, the school districts. And then, of course, we would never be able to do this without DJ Frye and Frye Transportation. So would never happen without them. And of course, the radio station, WBVP, thank you so much for hopping on board with us.
Anything we can do, we're more than happy to help out, as I said from the beginning. And when it comes to what's going on in the community, the 3 sitting in this room right here with me, you guys are, every time you turn around, there you guys are. So you believe in everything that's in your communities, and I think it's awesome you're doing this. DJ is always throwing out there. I mean, I'm sure you guys see the big sign behind your head there, supporting what we do as well. So do you want to do a list of what the drop-offs are? A couple of them, at least highlight them, some of the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And real quick, before Lisa, she's done an unbelievable job with what she's about to tell you, but I want to add one thing. I want to make sure I give a thanks to the Fort Mac Foundation.
Yes.
They were, yesterday, they voted in and they contacted me and said, hey, we're going to give a $500 donation. That's going to go so far. I mean, Lisa will tell you, Tank will tell you, this is our third similar. Frye Transportation is the third one that we've done. We've sent trailers and trucks down to Fort Myers a couple years ago. We sent a truck and trailer down to Kentucky a couple years ago. But this is really the first time we're getting this involved. And when you're making phone calls and asking questions, we've got phone calls from people who've arranged these things and spearhead and championed these things before, and they've told us the good, bad, and ugly, what to avoid, this, and that.
Luke's been a major help.
Yeah, Luke Baradelli has been wonderful. Eric McIntosh has given us a ton of advice as well. These are just great leaders here in Beaver County. But the one thing that I personally overlooked, and I apologize because I'm in logistics every day, is raising money for the fuel to get driving the products down and up. We'll mention here in a little bit that we're going to do an inventory this Sunday and then throughout next week, and that'll help determine how many trucks and trailers we're going to need. So we'll be reaching out for any volunteers that are listening, any volunteers that see our post and all the advertisements. feel free to reach out. And if you have a truck and trailer and you're willing to go down south, we would love to hear from you. But again, I wanted to thank the Fort Mac Foundation for their generosity to help get us back safely. And Lisa, if you want to jump where you were going to start.
Yeah. So a list of the drop-off locations that we have we've capped off drop-off locations. So this is the final list. Obviously, the Lisa Lathom team at eXp Realty, 926 3rd Avenue, Brighton. Frye Transportation has offered up their bus depot at 345 Ridgemont Drive in Midland. The radio station here in Brighton Township, Hutchin Home in Beaver Falls, Be Well Nation in Patterson, Valley Vintage Motorworks in Monaca, Simmons Notary Service in Beaver, Cigars and More in New Brighton, Gordon's Auto Service in New Brighton. That is easy for the people that are in the New Sewickley area. Scoot Mortgage is in Chippewa. Rain 3D Training Academy, also in Chippewa, but 2 different areas there. Raccoon Fire Department, Beaver Falls Fire Department, Bachstrong, which is located in the new M7 Pittsburgh complex in Center Township, and then, of course, Beaver Agway that we just talked about. And then we also have a list of things that we are not accepting. A couple of people reached out to me yesterday. We are not accepting clothing. You could imagine them trying to distribute clothing down south. That would be very difficult for them. Any kind of like hazmat chemicals we couldn't accept. And water's heavy to transport. It's heavy, so we're not accepting water either. But we do have a list of things needed. And then if anybody wanted to make a bigger donation, they're in need of generators, wheelbarrows. If you're cleaning out your shed and you have good items, just make sure they're clean and not covered in mud, because we do need to pack it up and get it there.
That actually came from somebody in Florida who contacted us saying, we love what you're doing. If they actually added to our list saying, this is truly what some people are going to need because everything's gone. And that's how we got the wheelbarrow.
And they call it mud outs. They're cleaning the houses they call it mud outs. So they need the wheelbarrows to get the stuff out of the house. The other thing that we need, obviously, any kind of monetary donations for the fuel and the transportation piece of it, and then boxes, totes, packing tape, permanent markers, tape guns, because we're going to process all of this and package it up so when we get it there, it's nicely sorted for them and they don't have to worry about that piece of it.
I'm just going to kind of hang out and let you guys, I don't just keep going. No, I'm just kidding. So highlight some of the items that you are accepting.
Yeah. So I've got a big list here. Non-perishable food, unopened and unexpired. Please don't bring us stuff that we're going to have to get rid of, because then it's just one more
step.
Don't
clean out the pantry.
If it's open, I'm eating it.
The best food probably is something that somebody could open and eat out of a can. They don't have a lot of ability to cook a lot of food, but obviously the need is great. Diapers, children and adult. Garbage bags, 13-gallon or contractor bags. Newer, gently used rakes, shovels, I think I said diapers already, baby formula, plastic utensils, sunscreen, bug spray, cleaning supplies, manual can openers, baby wipes, plastic sheeting / tarps, medical supplies. Someone told me yesterday, like new coloring books, new crayons for the kids, working generators, toiletries, unopened and unexpired, please. Pet food, for the cats and the dogs, hand sanitizer wipes, feminine hygiene products, socks, all sizes, unopened, new socks, please. Toothbrushes, toothpaste, chainsaw oil, bar chain oil, new gas cans, exterior extension cords, batteries, flashlights, wheelbarrows, gift cards. So that's our list.
Get that tank, no Sunday socks. Got it?
Well, I wear Crocs, baby. So,
Frank, one thing that, and I know Lisa's ran into this as well, but just to put this whole thing in perspective, Mike Rubino, I know, is a friend of the radio station.
Absolutely.
He's probably listening. So I want to thank Mike. I know he's reached out to Lisa about trying to get the local United Way in contact with the United Way down there. And why I bring that up is because one thing that has caught me off guard with all of this, when I have reached out to friends and family that are somewhat in that area, they're giving us contact information for churches, organizations, this and that. It has been so difficult to get a hold of anyone down there. And to put that into perspective, cell phones aren't working. Cables knocked out, telephone lines are knocked out.
Internet.
I mean, it is very challenging to get a hold of anybody remotely in that area. So, and again, put that in perspective. it's kind of disconnected at this point from everybody else. So we look forward to the challenge of getting down there and getting this stuff in the right hands. And again, kudos to everybody that's reached out here with all the connections. There's been a lot of heavy lifting, and that's what makes Beaver County so special.
Absolutely.
I mean, everyone's calling, and it is honestly gives me goosebumps to think about the power and the energy behind our people here in Beaver County. And we're going to get this stuff down there.
So when are you anticipating that the trucks will leave to go to down south?
So hopefully, I mean, our big collection is going to be this Sunday. If you're not able to make it out this Sunday, please feel free to find one of these generous business fronts and donate, drop stuff off all next week. But I think the plan right now is we need to see inventory-wise how much we have after this Sunday. I do have a truck and trailer ready to go, so we may sneak a truck or two down sometime next week. And then we'll just reload and do another run, hopefully next Saturday as well. After we go to the, as Tank will be driving around the county in a bus collecting all the goods. As soon as he parks, if we get that bus back on all six wheels, we'll get it offloaded and get that stuff down the south.
Just so not electric bus.
I want to make sure.
I'm not pushing.
I'm going to get one of those older ones where I actually get the shift.
Oh,
he'll definitely be in an older one because we just want to make sure something goes.
Get the good old diesel game, baby, going.
Yeah. So, and we're working on something too. We're doing the jug game next week, so hopefully, waiting to hear back from the school. So we're going to try and maybe have some type of donation, have a pre-broadcast down there for the jug game, and get something going as well. So we're going to stuff a van. We'll let Tank ride around in the station van stuff in it.
All of you people say Tank is driving. Nobody has driven in a car with Tank sitting at this table except for me.
We didn't say we were riding with him. That's your job.
Oh, yes, DJ, you did.
I will say, I am the one and only person who have actually been in a school bus with Tank behind the wheel. My daughter said, "Daddy, were you nervous?" I'm like, Mr. Tank was driving that bus. I said, he was a pro, honey. He was a pro. And we actually pulled into a school building parking lot with hundreds of kids in that building, but it all worked out well.
And Tank ran the stop sign in the school parking lot in the bus.
It had a white O around it. It means it was optional.
Speaking of schools, though, I do want to get a shout out to the Beaver JROTC program, Oscar Weaver, Sean Snowden, the principal, Dr. Sean Aiken of Beaver. They have personally reached out to me about the cadets getting involved. And again, if you can imagine, these buses are going to be parked in the parking lots. As you pull up hopefully bring some supplies, we may need some help to get
volunteers
the information or the stuff out of the cars onto the buses. And then again, we are going to transport it down to our Monaca terminal. And we'll need definitely some assistance getting the stuff out of the buses and then neatly organized so we can make sure we have a great inventory check.
Yeah. DJ, I do have a list going of people that have volunteered. I have a significant list. So I need to put that in an Excel sheet today and see, but we may be maxed out on volunteers because we got a lot of calls yesterday with people offering to help.
That's awesome.
And don't get nervous. The Steelers play at night.
That's right.
Yes.
So that's
who cares?
You're exactly right. In a situation like this, who
cares?
Who cares?
Yeah,
but I do want to point that out that they do. So it'll make for a really nice church in the morning. Come and see one of the buses, and then we'll get home and enjoy the game.
There's a game. I don't watch NFL.
Don't worry, the NASCAR.
NASCAR. Yeah,
it's playoffs.
There's a game.
Playoffs.
It's the playoffs.
We're talking about playoffs.
Right. That's more important. All right. Anything else you guys want to throw in?
I guess I would love to say that, personally, I've witnessed the devastation firsthand. I grew up in the Pocono Mountains. So in 2006, my hometown, Delaware Water Gap, I worked there as a waitress in a restaurant for many, many years. We went underwater. I floated through town. First floors of houses were flooded out. It was devastating.
It was like a 20-foot flood, I think.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the water was almost up to the traffic light in town. It was a devastating thing to see. I could not work because my work had been flooded out for months. So not anywhere near the capacity of the devastation in North Carolina, but I have seen devastation like that. And then in 2009, there was a tornado that came through in the Poconos and ruined my son's father's farm. barns collapsed, the house collapsed, everything was uninhabitable, and I witnessed the community. There was a human chain from the house to the trailers that showed up, and they just passed everything that they could grab out of the house that could be salvaged. So I feel like, living through something like that, it really just tugs at your heartstrings because you do know what those people are going through.
So if people do want to reach out and find out what all they can do, how they can help, or if they would like to get donations right to you, how can they do that?
They're welcome to call. My voicemail, my phone is busy all day long. And please remember, we do have actual jobs that we're trying to do, too.
Right.
But my number is 724-307-5472. And then, DJ, you have a number for the
so we
terminal?
provided our Beaver terminal, which is our main office at Frye Transportation, and that number is 724-371-0023. And I do, on behalf of Tank, want to apologize. There is a lucky soul out there who I mistakenly gave.
We never published that.
My wrong phone number. So if it was published there for a couple hours, somebody probably got bombarded with phone calls regarding the collection. So I apologize to that individual, whoever received that. But I'll blame Tank on that.
That's right. I got broad shoulders.
And we have updated the flyer a couple of times on social media, so you're welcome to go to our social media page. I pinned it at the top, the Lisa Lathom team, eXp Realty, and DJ, I think that you have it on Frye Transportation Group. And you're always welcome to stop in our office. We are going to stay open late tonight and then next week for 3 days, so someone will be in our office.
Monday through Wednesday next week, we're open till 6 o'clock, and tonight we're open till 6 p.m. as well.
That's 926 3rd Ave, right across from the Huntington Bank in New Brighton.
Perfect.
Okay.
And we put our Hyattville Terminal's website or address on there, but our listeners, they know they can stop at any of our school bus terminals at any time throughout the day and drop off goods.
And you can call here and we'll direct you how to do it. You can drop it off here and I'll get it to whoever as well. So
Tank will drive the bus here.
I want to see that. I definitely want to see that.
Jack Manning out there.
You know what? Eddie and Tank.
Ooh.
I don't know who would be the worst parallel parker out of those.
That's one thing I'm really good at is parallel parking.
We could probably raise some money. We'll put some cones up and see.
We could hold our own betting site.
Derby.
Yeah, betting site and have.
Now we're talking. How about a figure 8 race with the buses?
Oh, there you go. There's nothing like school bus figure 8 racing.
That's right.
Whatever it takes to raise money for this great cause. Huh?
But honestly, I want to say thank you to everybody that's out there that's even thinking about donating and actually coming out and helping out, because honestly, a little bit goes a long way when these people down there has lost everything. We've traveled a lot down to North Carolina lately, and it's honestly, those folks that are down there are almost just like Beaver County people. Yeah. They truly are. They are very welcoming. They're blue-collar workers. It is basically the heart of America down there. Like, I just recently seen some photos, some images that people are creating. There's actually an image of the States down there with a heart around where the affected is, and it just like kind of pulled at my heartstrings right there.
Absolutely. I have a friend that lives in Kannapolis, North Carolina. His name's Roger Haas, and yes, it is that Haas. What part of that family? Mm-hmm. And they're doing some relief efforts because they lost their electric, but they didn't get hit. So they're also trying to get within the state to help out. And being down there as much as I have, I agree with you 100%. It's like I call Beaver County South every time I go down to hang out down there. Mm-hmm. So there's no doubt. But I thank you guys for everything you guys do. This is something that probably a lot of people didn't think of to do, especially up here. And you guys came up with that idea to do it. And DJ is always, no matter what you throw at DJ, most of the time he's like, all right, let's do it. So, and he's good with that. So appreciate everything you guys do. Appreciate you coming in today to talk about it. The interview is on Facebook Live and on YouTube as well. So we'll make sure we get it shared out there so people can see how
the internet.
Yeah, see how people can share, how people can become involved. And, maybe we'll take more than 5-10 truckloads down there, help people out because they definitely need it. So the stories are just so. I heard a story about a guy this morning. He was in 75-year-old guy. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. He was in a tree holding on because his house got split in two and they didn't get to him in time. So, and these people lost everything, but then they're losing loved ones on top of it. And they were talking about how the whole town's ravaged and there's just nothing there. So, so we got to help them somehow.
Absolutely.
But Beaver County, thank you so much. Thank you for just being a special place filled with special people. And thank you for the Lathom team again, all of the school district, all the volunteers, all the businesses. Again, that's what makes Beaver County so special. And that's why I feel blessed to be able to raise 3 beautiful children here. And future is bright. No doubt about it, Frank. And to the radio station as well.
Well, anything we can do, we're here. So thanks
Thank
again,
you.
guys.
Thank you.
Tank,
Thanks,
it's
Frank.
time to go get yelled at.
That's right. I got to get down to the county assessment appeals office. So
All right, guys. Well, thanks. As Tank pointed out, coming up here at 9 o'clock, it's Ask the Commissioner, so they won't be in the building. So they'll be up here hanging out with us for a while. So, all right, guys. Thanks a lot. It is. We're going to take a short break, and then Curtis will be back with news headlines right after this.
In Beaver County, work on the Frankfurt Bridge